Well, hello there, magic monsters. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. Very exciting stuff today. Let's see. Let me make sure I've got my screen at the right sizing for this stream because I do change it and then I don't always put it back. All right. We have some cool stuff. So I've been working on the inventory for this demo scene. So I'm just going to press play so we can kind of see the demo scene and we can see, well, I've got some extra debugs probably that we'll have to delete. But we've got our inventory here where we've got the ability to drag and drop things around, throw them into the world. Don't have the ability yet to pick them up, but we will get there. We can, however, pick up things like this with these fancy buttons, and we can pass them into our player inventory. We can also add a bunch of stuff to the inventory. Oh, and that looked like that wasn't working too, but we have things here. So again, we can pick things up, pass them in, and then we can pass them between players. We can go like this and go between players. We can select the players directly. We can hit 2 and go through that. All fancy things. We can open the small box, put that in there, take something out. Then we can open the large box. And this is a new thing for those of you who are familiar with the inventory. Look, it's smaller. So I've now added the ability. I've been cleaning up the inventory section entirely, and one thing I realized was, hey, if you wanted to have more boxes, more spots than the screen real estate would allow, where the default is 100 pixels by 100 pixels, that would be an issue. So now on our box objects itself, so in this case, these two buttons are these buttons, and we have our box manager here. Wait a minute. Where do we keep the information? Where do we put that information? Basically, there's a hi tech Dave. How are you doing? There is a it's on the panel itself, the box inventory panel. So this is we'll rename this to be inventory area. And we'll say 50 pixels. And then this other one's just going to be inventory area default. Actually, yeah, default. Because, and we'll test this right now. I actually haven't tested this stuff yet. So now that I've updated the code, these can be basically the same thing. The only difference, I'm going to make sure this one writes to the console, is that one is a 50 pixel size, the other is default to the 100 pixel size. And then if we look at these here, not these ones, sorry, the buttons right here, there should be a, yes. So we see the inventory panel is inventory area default, and for the lucky one, inventory area 50 pixels. So now we also can see that our spots are going to be 8 by 12 for this one, and this one 6 by 8. So I think if I put this one here and press play, we should see still 6 by 8, but in the small box will just be 50% size. There you go. So same size or same grid left and right, top to bottom, but a different size. So now essentially your inventory area controls the size of itself. And for your objects that have an inventory that get instantiated at runtime, so in this case it's going to be this small box and this treasure box, then you can have different things. So and you can also, with these, like if you open this up, you can also change out the background image and other things. So this one might be a wooden treasure, another one might be fabric for a bed, or maybe you have an image of an inside of a chest, like a drawer or something. Something like that for your game, or something sci-fi based, or anything else, or not even an image at all and just colors. But what I wanted to show now and really test now is making this one be 90 pixels. Because the whole point was that 100 was a little bit too big for the size of the player icons. And so I want to see what 90 pixels would do. 50%, 50 pixels was too small. So there you go. So now if I were to take the inventory area here and we just make this smaller like that, we could do that. So then it would be right above their heads. So we can make it 780 maybe. So if we go to this one, we'll do 780. And we can do the same to all of these because they are ultimately a new demo, and this is now being custom to this demo. So let's go and press play and confirm we didn't screw everything up. There we go. So now it's above their player portrait heads. The scale is controlled not by the size of the overall window, but by the value here, with the default being 100. So we could see what happens. I've not tested yet if we go bigger. So let's do 120 maybe. And so we'll make this 120. And on the small button here, we'll bring that one in instead of the default. Press play. And let's see if everything scales big. They do appear to be bigger. So now the object, when you pick it up, is going to be the same size because that's the default size of the object. So when you go back between these two, you know, the objects shrink when they're in or grow when they're in, but they don't change when they're otherwise. And then the other thing about the inventory, if you do go, you know, to here, you can go back and forth. If you've got this open, you X out. I'm pressing escape here. But then if you got a box open and then you open the inventory here, then you can X out and the box is still open. So it's a little smart like that. So that's cool. That's how you can get different scaling. That's brand spanking new. So I'm very excited about that. And it also cleaned up the code quite a bit. In my last stream, I was breaking this apart quite heavily, and I had to redo a lot of it. Not redo completely, but clean it up and stuff. Like this is no longer used. I commented this out because I think this doesn't make sense for this context anymore. It was never actually used. It was intended to do custom code, but that wouldn't be the proper way to do custom code anymore anyways. So yeah. So we'll remove our debugs, debug.log. I had some debugs going along because I had some bugs going along. And when you have a bug, you need a debug. So they say. All right. How many more debugs do I have? A lot. And the order of operations on the setup mattered. And that was the root of most of my bug issues. Are you making it work on a 1920 by 1080 resolution? Yeah, I think so. The default, yeah, I moved the wake into this setup actions method. Went through some iterations there. Spots and the inventory itself now are called directly. So one panel can pull spots and stuff from this displayable inventory and displayable spots based on the game ID, the IF inventory game ID, which these two are held on the repository in dictionaries now. So anything that is an I have inventory will register itself with the item object repository, and then the panel will simply grab the data from the repository. So the panels don't need to actually know who they belong to beyond the string, and that allows them to be saved as well, which is quite nice. And so as an example, real quick, let's do something. We are going to pick up something else. We're going to pick up a small shield, and we'll go into our small box and we'll put it here, and then we're going to pick up a plate armor, go into our lucky treasure box. We'll put it here. Actually, we'll put it all the way on the side over there. And then we'll put these down here. So we put everything, everything over to the right. In this one, let's just close that, open the small box, and stick it there. And stick that there. And there we go. All right, then we're going to save. And we'll do a hard load, which means stopping the project and starting again. Rather than clicking the reload button, the reload level. And there we go. We've got everything in its right spots, because these panels, while they're being instantiated at runtime, these values are being saved. These are savable, and their list of inventory and their spots are being saved and set and automatically generated, not generated, but set up and all that. So yes, so this is 16 by 9. Clearly I need to make the UI buttons work with 16 by 10, but if we load up this, then you see that this is also set for 16 by 10. The actual, for the inventory module, the actual graphics are really dependent on your project. The demo is just the demo in this case, and it's not supposed to be like, you use this, you can start with it, but the reality is your project's unique and your inventory system's going to be unique. It doesn't have to look like this. It could be very different. I believe you could even have it so that two are side by side. Although I'd have to look into that and see if that would work. I think it would, though, so that you can literally just drag one to another. Although, you know, slow your roll there. I do need to check and see if that would work. It's an interesting idea, though, now that I say it out loud. And then this, I don't think this matters. I don't think this matters anymore. I don't think any of this matters, or maybe we'll just remove that because it is set. We know that, but these others do matter. They are required, so we'll just leave those there the way they are. All right. So what I wanted to do now was set up a physical box in the scene, and so I have already created a spot for it. You know, if we look at our little level, we're going to have the right here. The dog that you have to rescue is going to be over here, but there's going to be a treasure box over here. And so I wanted to create that box and then go from there. So we will create a box right here. Right here. And then we'll set it up. And we'll see this process. And I will dog food my stuff. All right. Did I already create one? Oh, I did. Look at that. Large box, small box. All right, let's move the small box over here. Okay. That looks like a good spot for it. Maybe we'll put it a little bit in the light. All right. And then what do we do with the small box? Treasure box. And we'll make it large treasure box. All right. Tech Dave sees what I mean, and if you were designing the demo for your max resolution, it would be high res and mess up on more common. I think. Yeah. The resolution stuff always annoys me, because the UI stuff always annoys me in the end. But yeah. So I generally will use these. If I'm really trying to do it well, I'll use free aspect, so I can see how things move in all sorts of different aspect ratios. But yeah, 16 by 9 or 16 by 10 seem to be pretty common. But for ultra wide screens, you might want to do something different. So I've got an ultra wide that I'm using right now. I've got a whole chunk of space on the right that you can't even see. How much space? That much space. That's how much space. So obviously, if this were on this screen and I wanted to take up the full resolution, we would definitely need these to be better situated. And I guess, let's see. Let's see, what would we need to do for that? So the demo scene readouts are, see, this is the problem. They're top into they're locked to the middle. So I guess we would do this and then see what happens. Yeah, so that's good. So those ones are all working. The inventory one, though, this one is down here, it looks like. Inventory buttons. Ah, they're locked to the middle. Whereas these others are locked to the top left. And so inventory toggle is locked to the top right for some reason. So let's lock these to the top left, and then 16 by 10. All right, there we go. So now they're going in more appropriately. So that wasn't too terribly difficult. And if we did go free aspect and make this, whoops, don't do that. And we make this, there we go. So it's ultra wide. There we go. But we will put it back to 16 by 9. There we go. All right. Hello, Oliver. How are you? So the house. Oh, the house. I mean, technically, I got the house. I just, need to not lose my job between now and like mid-March. I need to make sure when the bank tells me they need proof that I can work from home and other things like that, that I get that in, which I did. I need to make sure that I don't open new credit cards or buy a car or pay my taxes or anything big right now, because that would mess everything up. Plus, as I said in the last stream, I need literally 100% of the money in my bank account right now for the closing costs. So when I do move in, technically in 6 weeks, I move in, I will have only the amount of money I make between now and then to buy things like a mattress and a refrigerator. But yes, it's otherwise very exciting. I saw it again, took pictures, sent those to my mom. She's very excited to go visit because moms like doing that, I guess. And but I still haven't decided. She might not be able to come visit because I might have to rent the rooms out, because like I said, I will not have much money between now and then to buy things like mattresses. And I literally own 1 4x4 Kallax, 2 2x2 Kallaxes, 1 desk, 1 chair, and the stuff that's on my desk, including the computers. That's what I own right now. Oh, and a pillow. I have a pillow. And my clothes, of course. And my car. And that's it. And then, and my e-bike. But, that you can't sleep on an e-bike. Yeah, so basically, I might rent the rooms out for a while in order to buy things like a couch, maybe a TV, maybe money in my bank account. Who knows? We'll see. Very exciting nonetheless. So, all right. So we got our box down here. That was a side thing, but we got our box down here. And what are we going to do? We're going to make sure that it can be opened. So we're going to create on our box a box slider. We'll make it a trigger. Well, actually, we don't need the, we want it to be a collider still, but what we want is a trigger nonetheless, very similar to our puppy. Our puppy is, well, wait a minute. The puppy, can we walk over the puppy? Let's find out. And I think we need to, we'll get through these quests real quick.
Well, that worked.
And then we will scoot our way up here, talk to the goblin. The goblin will give us the quest that starts the puppy, and then we'll go over here and quickly save so that we don't have to do all that again. And I can walk through the I can walk through the puppy, that's fine. I don't want to be able to walk through the box though. So if I go over to the box, we're going to save here too. That'll give us a chance to make sure the puppy quest gets saved properly, because I can't remember if I ever did that. All right, so good. We can't walk over the box. We can walk around the box. So we need to create another object with a with a trigger on it. So, but before that, before I forget, I want to make sure that I can return the puppy here. I think I can.
Oh, yippee! Yippee! Yippee!
Oh, interesting. There is a slight bug. This door is only supposed to open when I return with the puppy, but it looks like it's set to check to see if the puppy has been rescued rather than that.
Oh, yippee!
So that's something to fix. You can see that afterwards that door just went random places. That's because it was not supposed to open until you turn into puppy. Anyways, that'll be another thing to fix. Thanks, Oliver. Okay, let's see. We have... where's our box gone? Oh, it's on the other side. Yes. There we go. They look very similar, these two hallways. All right, so we're going to create in here a... actually, can we just do another box collider and make this one a trigger? I think we can. I'm going to make this just a 3x3, maybe 3x5, 3.8, 4x4. Yeah, so as long as we're within this zone, then it should be fine. And 2.5, 3. All right. So as long as we're in that zone, we should be fine. And then I'm going to copy some code. We're going to open the puppy, and now we're going to make a new script on the... So this is going to be setting up a box from, not from complete scratch, but we're going to call this treasure box. And wait for it to go load. Throw this on our treasure box here. We'll throw this one on this treasure box. We'll get prepped for that. We have our treasure box. Let's open it up and set in our namespace of Infinity PBR.modules.demo, and then we will copy paste all this. And then we need to put on the box manager. So the box manager is a demo script, but it's also very handy. Maybe it shouldn't be a demo script. Maybe it should just be, hey, you should probably just think about using this. It can be overridden, so you can override from it. In fact, let's just do that now. It's no longer going to be a demo script. We might get some errors. Let's see if there are errors because I did that. Game loop box is now... Why is it? Oh, okay. And the other thing is I need to make this inventory modules.inventory. So let's do that now because I keep thinking about it, and yeah, and it's a thing that just needs to happen. Modules.inventory. So there's going to be a handful of scripts that have bugs like this. So let's just go through them all. I should probably change it on here first. And here. It's like a chicken and the egg issue, or cart and horse, or something along those lines. Panel manager. Oops. Everything's all convoluted for a while. Inventory, modules.inventory. On-screen item needs to be updated too. Go to file, on-screen item. I'm just pasting this in. It's been copied. It's now being pasted. Spots. I think I need a better name for spots. Maybe spots is okay. It's the spots in the inventory. Does that make sense? Spots. This is inventory actor, so that's fine. Oh. This is... Ooh. I don't think we actually use this for the box manager anymore, so I will remove it. Some of these scripts, like control here, is actually old. It's not used. This is from the old demo, but I was using it to reference things. And as you can see here, same thing. So these will be removed, I believe. But we're going to do those another time. Again, this is the old player. So this is cascading effects, really. I guess I should change them all. Equipment panel. Even though this is going to be removed. UI equipped item button. Okay. UI equipped item button. A weird bug. Ah. I don't know enough about Unreal. It's really a shame. I kind of wish I did know more, but I just don't. I know that in many Unity versions, the blend shape values are made more extreme, or less extreme, more extreme. I don't know if that's similar of an issue. Grid row. That is part of modules as well, in modules inventory. Alright. Getting there. This is fun, right? I think it is an interesting exercise to change things like this, because it really drives home how many different scripts might go into making a system. And how many different things need to know about the on-screen item or the panel manager or various other parts of the system, you know. So this is game loot box. So this is actually in the wrong namespace entirely. So this is going to be just modules. We have modules.loot, huh? Okay, we'll keep that separate. And so we're going to need using static Infinity PBR.modules.inventory. We're just using, not static, using that, and that should clear this, I think. What is spots? Why is it giving me an error here? Oh, I see. I see. So that needed to be changed. It was the other way around. All right. And this. Interesting. Add displayable inventory to repository. This does not have I have inventory. It does, though. Okay, I have inventory is modules.inventory. So maybe this should just be modules. And then it will be using Infinity PBR modules.inventory. Okay. That seems to have solved that issue. Where's the bug here? It sounds very similar. Game loot box. I think loot box, game loot box should not be under loot. Like maybe we shouldn't have anything under loot because the other modules aren't. They're not under .stats, .item object, etc. So I guess one step later in life will be to update that too. All right. Okay, whoops. We don't need emojis in our code. All right. Looks like we are at the end. On-screen item is modules.inventory. Modules.inventory. Okay. So this is item inventory, item world. Both need to be updated. Okay. Item inventory. And item world. These are the scripts for the things you can see. When you drag around an object, that's the item world, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, and I could be. It's been happening from time to time. All right, let's see if everything still works. Just to make sure. Okay. Don't see any errors yet. Yeah, that seems to be going right. All right, close. Let me just save. And we'll load and see if everything's in the same spots. They are. All right, good. All right. That was a good exercise. And now, let's get back to this treasure box here. So treasure box in the modules demo, not inventory demo, but modules demo. And similar to the puppy. Let's see, puppy. We're going to kind of copy some scripts on the, I think it's on this puppy, on the on trigger enter, on trigger exit. Treasure box, let's just move this all the way over here, move puppy all the way over here, and we will close all tabs to the right. All right, so treasure box is going to be on trigger enter, and we need this player in range private bool player in range, and then I don't think we need to save anything on this itself, because this is just going to say that the player is in range. And then if we hit space, it does something. So we will then have just a simple update here. If the player's in range, not pick up the puppy, but open the box. And we'll do that in a bit. So let me debug.log open box, just in case I forget where that is. And the other thing we need on here is similar to our fancy buttons. Where are our buttons? Where did I put our buttons? Yeah. Where are the buttons? Where, inventory buttons. There we go. Similar to these buttons, we need a box manager. Yep. So we need to add a box manager to our small box. So let me just collapse some of these. Box manager. And our box manager has its own game ID. We have a null reference. What is this referring to? What are we saying? If spots.rows. Oh. So we're going to redo this flow, see if that still occurs. So remove this. Box manager. It does not. Okay. So the reason why it was trying to check on this, and when this is modified, it's supposed to do that. And it was trying to do that at the beginning. But since they were not set up, it was throwing an error. But we don't want it to throw an error. So what we want is to say spots equals new spots. So that is available at the beginning. I think that should fix the issue. Oops. Remove component. Box manager. All right, there we go. So they updated to all that. So now when you change this automatically should change itself. It's not doing that though, so let's see. There should be. Let's see. We should have our right to console. There should be 6 spots, but we have 96. We'll reload the spots object, but it's clearly not doing it, right? So this should be true, I believe, to force it to set up new spots. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So we're going to do a... let's do one that's a very small box. We're going to do one that's just 6 by 6. And let's remove our debug log here. And let's see how it works. So we're using the box manager, which is something that we could inherit from. But we're not going to inherit from it. Instead, we're going to give ourselves an inventory panel. And our inventory panel is going to be the one that's by 120. Okay. Oh, assets. There we go. Inventory area 120. We got 6 by 6. We have no items. I think this is something that I need to maybe hide in the inspector. All right, let's just see what happens. Oh, we didn't do the open box yet. So now we should just get a debug log when we get close. Open box. Okay. That's actually on the box manager, I believe. Open. Got clicked loot demo. So this is something that needs actually to be moved out of this script. So this is what we're going to do. Let's move that while I'm thinking about it. Got click loop demo. So this is going to be on these two buttons. Because the box manager needs to be self-isolated. It shouldn't have demo methods in it like that. So on these two buttons, we're going to add a new script. Where we're going to put it? We're going to put it in our scripts. UI, create a C# script, treasure, or UI treasure button. Yeah, makes sense. We'll name this, or namespace this, namespace Infinity PBR modules.demo, and then we will go here. We will say private box manager, box manager, and then private void awake is going to say box manager equals game object, or get component rather, of box manager. And then we will move this over got clicked loot demo. We're just going to say got clicked, and get component loot box demo. So let's make this up here, private game loot box demo, game loot box demo. And since we are doing two of these, we will expand our awake out, say game loot box demo equals get component game loot box demo. And so we're going to then go to got clicked, we'll generate loot, and then on the box manager, open the inventory. And that should be that, which means now I can remove that. But before I do, let's migrate these two over. So both of these will get a UI treasure button, and both of them will have on their button the UI treasure button got clicked, and for it as well, UI treasure button got clicked. And now we should be able to remove this. We'll just zombie code it for now, and I'll remove it later in another pass. And press play. We have a bug of sorts, null reference bug. Is this a real one? Could be. Let's see. Okay, yes. So this is saying on the box manager, the add displayable inventory to repository. Okay, and well, what's null reference then? This happens on awake. What's the difference? Oh, it's just saying that IAM object repository probably isn't available. So that actually means we need to do something slightly different. We need to make this a coroutine. So public IE numerator. Add displayable inventory to I'm just going to copy paste it. Come on, that's a long one. And on this one, we're going to say while item object repository dot item object repository equals null, yield return null, and then afterwards do that, and then comment that out, and what is it saying? We don't have the right references. Void. A, B, C, D. What are we doing? Why is this not working? What do I have wrong? Public I enumerator, add this yield return null. Oh, it's not the actual issue with that. It's the issue with the way it's being called up here. Start coroutine. Add that. All right. No? Oh. Interesting. I can't do that. All right. So undo. Actually, not completely undo. We're going to change this. Register to repository. And what we'll do here is then keep this and just say that. Okay, so I think the issue was that the coroutine itself could not call this method, and so we're just going to have it call this method, which it can call. Now, I wonder, though, if this will cause any problems. I don't think it will. They don't need to be registered right away, I don't think. They just need to be registered pretty quick, before they get used, that is. So there's no errors there. Go open box. Okay. Oh, that's right. We were checking out this other thing. Did that work? It seems to work. Oops, pushed the wrong button. Seems to work just fine. Yeah, we definitely need to get these clicking so they can disappear. Because they block your path. And they can't be pushed over for some reason. Alright. Where was I? So those are working, and I moved that code out to zombie code. Okay. So now in our treasure box, open box, we're really going to be doing, well, we need a reference to it. So private box manager, and private void awake. Box manager equals get component, box manager, and this can be private. All right, and then box manager dot open inventory when we hit space and we are in range. Let's see if it works. It worked. No errors. And if we pick up our, say, chain armor, and we open up the box, yes, we should see 6 by 6. So it is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 6. 6 by 6 grid, because that is what we had set. Isn't that fancy? I think that's fancy. Very exciting. Now, if we save, though, it's not going to save because we didn't do a savable on this. So if we go back to our small treasure box, it's not yet savable. So let's make sure this is savable. All we really have to do is make it savable by adding that. Box manager already is set up to save itself. So if we test this, it should just work, which I know our very famous words. It should just work. We'll pick up a shield this time. We'll go over here, put that shield into the box, close it, save, stop and play, and open the box again. And do we have a large shield in the box? We do. There we go. All right, so it is being saved. There you go. So that is how you would set up a very simple treasure box in the project. You just add box manager and choose your inventory panel, and everything else will be done for you. That being said, if you want to customize your inventory panel, your inventory area, then yes, you will need to do some more work, because that can look like whatever you want it to look like. In fact, let's see if we can do that. We're going to go over to Fancy Pants Mid-Journey. Let's see. Where's my Mid-Journey? In my live stream channel here. I gave my nephew a Zelda shield for his birthday. That's not my nephew. It's not really at all what he looks like, but it's based on his picture that I took of him holding it. I was seeing if I could get different looks out of it, but no, it didn't really work. He does have long hair, though. I was thinking he was a girl. Anyways, we're going to do a imagine top-down view of the inside of a wooden box. Fantasy concept art. Yeah. Concept art and aspect ratio 3:2. I don't know if this is actually going to be a thing. Let's do a couple. We'll just do inside of a wooden box and top-down view of a wooden treasure chest. Wooden treasure box. I don't know if any of these will work, but we'll see. They're coming up now. I hope you all are making use of this AI revolution. It will be a thing once this is all even more robust, because right now it does not appear that it's going to be giving us what we want. Nope. Let's see. Inside wooden box. And we'll try just inside box. And we'll try inside box. Inside box wood. These are... That's a weird treasure box. Kind of cool. What if it opened like that? Inside was something cool like that. That'd be cool. Not what we're looking for, though. None of these are what we're looking for. It's giving us just the treasure. Let's see if we can try this. I think, what was it? I think in top-down view. Oh, it's in quotes. That's what we need. So top-down. Make that 3. Inside of a wooden box. Make that 3. And see if that helps. That's interesting too. I'd put something like that in my room. This is neat. Having a box with an inside tree, that's cool too. If somebody made something like this in real life, that would be a really cool thing to have on the bookshelf. A box with a tree in it and a little lantern that lights, and the lantern lights it all up. Like a little diorama. That would be really cool. No, I don't think it's going to give us what we want. I don't think it's going to give us at all what we want. So what we can try then is wooden planks. Wood planks. Maybe the fantasy is throwing it off. Yeah, so let's just try that. Let's remove the fantasy. Remove the fantasy and concept art. See if those were throwing it off. Wood planks. Ooh, that would be fancy. My friends were going to Home Goods, a store that sells random crap, and they were looking at paintings, and she actually bought a couple paintings. They're the type of paintings, they're by a real person, but they're prints on canvas type of thing, and they're cheap, $15. I'm sure the artist got paid a good amount because of the bulk, so I'm okay with that. But they were like, oh, you should buy some of these for your house, or which ones would you want on your walls in your house? And I said, I don't know. I thought, you know what, I probably would just make my own stuff on Midjourney and just get those printed so that at least my stuff on my walls would be unique if I'm going to have random artwork on my wall. None of these are right. I was hoping at least one of these could be cropped, like this one cropped to make this the area. And this one is a little bit closer. Well, both of these are actually a little bit closer, but not quite right. Let's see. So that one is a little bit, but we need that to be a box. So let me just refresh those, see if we can get any of these to be a little bit better. It's trying to give me something is the problem. I want nothing, and it's trying to give me something, you know. And those are cool planks, but that's not what I wanted. Maybe I need to do top-down view of the inside of a simple, empty wooden box without the fantasy. Concept art is fine. And then we'll just do simple, empty wooden box. It's moving pretty fast right now, which is nice. Sometimes it moves exceedingly slow. Empty wood box. All right, let's do it. Empty wood box. We'll do one with concept art, and then that's one that's just empty wood box. And right as I said, at least it's moving fast. I think it slowed it down. Huh. Yeah, so the idea is I kind of want to replace the background image with something and show how you can use a bigger image, I guess. Although that'll be an interesting thing, because if we look at a where's my inventory? Nope, not camera. What is all this? Did I delete those? Small. No. This. It's inside inventory module. It wasn't blue. I was looking for something blue. So if we look at this, this is not the actual one. It's not a prefab either, so we can mess with it. But it's really the background that we're going to be wanting to change. The area is this, and if we take this and just throw this on the panel, whoops, wrong way of doing it. Throw this here, and then make that like that. I mean, something like that, perhaps. And then the problem is that our area is now in the middle. What happens when we... At least they say stable. So we might be able to get away with having no image in the background of the area, so it would look kind of like that. So that's what I kind of want to see. All right. Do any of these work? Nope. 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 We can probably hack it ourselves in Photoshop. Like this one's not so bad. That one could work. The shadow, though, is going to mess with things. So I guess this one's actually probably better. All right, let me make that one bigger. Make some variations of it too. Yeah, because I think if we do that, it should work. But let's do a test. I'm going to actually undo all my stuff there. I can undo up to there. And then we're going to do a test. 120 inventory area. This is in the inventory prefab. So really, we can keep the default one there. I'm going to move these over here because they're part of this. It's going to be in the prefabs. We're going to create a new folder called inventory areas. So we will move these over here. Where's our inventory area? There it is. Okay. And we're going to duplicate this one. We'll call it the inside or inventory area inside box 120 pixels. Be very explicit about what the settings are on this. Go back to our Discord. Did we get anything better? Not really. This one's okay. I'm just going to have to change the bottom of it, really. There's our simple empty wooden box. That one's a little bit better, but again, the shadow is just harsh there. And it didn't give us any nice wood planks either. Top-down wood planks. Imagine top-down wood planks. Wood plank floor. Imagine top-down wood plank floor concept art. I don't have any fast money right on it. Actually, I probably do. Now that I think about it, I probably do. Let's see, info. We see how much money I've spent. Actually, I don't think it tells you that, but I'll tell you it's a lot. Too much, really. I was very excited with the fast mode back when I was doing it like a lot, and I spent a lot of money to do it, and now I don't have that money anymore. But we have a lot of cool icons. I got a lot of skills with Midjourney. That one's not so bad. But the perspective is off, I think. All right, come on, give me the ones. Yeah, there we go. Fast time remaining 0. Yeah, so I think I'd have to pay more money. I guess I don't have any. Empty wooden box. Indeed. It had to show you that it's empty because you couldn't just trust it. Any boot. Come on. Give us the big stuff. It's doing these faster. It does these faster than the big ones, which is why these are coming up real fast, essentially. None of those are better than I think the original one, so we'll not do anything. It's not quite what I was looking for, but I think we could take one of these and turn it. I did click that button, didn't I? On this, I did. Okay. I'm going to click on this one too. I actually think I like this one the best of the ones presented by the system. Wow, it took concept art to that look. Okay. So if I can get that one and this together in Photoshop, I think we can then give it a test. And that's the whole point of this part. I want to make sure that we can use an image and have it look like things are in the box and there's walls and stuff. And again, how you do it is completely up to you. And when we do this inside the box, we can change the colors and everything. We can even change the grid button. So right now the grid button has no image, but you could update that to have an image if you wanted to. You may use a custom grid button. I don't think we'll do that here, but what we could do is change these to be something else, and we'll see how that looks. All right, go back. Did we get our stuff? We got one. Yeah, that's not the best. Now that it's big, we'll wait for the other one. We've got this and that other inside box coming out at some point. And then we'll update that. We'll do that if we open this up. We will do that here, where our area is currently has this. We're going to say none, or rather just turn it off. And then the area itself is going to have a thing. So we're going to do images. Not sure where it would go. Probably just icons. So it will go in here. Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up. This is where, you know, the fast time does have value when you need it. And it's taking a sweet time. You can't, though, switch halfway through. So since I wasn't in fast time already, it's not going to be fast. It's just going to go and do its thing. And then once it's done, we'll be good to go. Can't bring anything into Photoshop yet. Okay, there we go. We'll bring this into Photoshop. So let me load up this. Open in browser. And bring it into ye old Photoshop. I'll save my YouTube image. There's a lot of layers on that. I need to clean it up. All right, and while we're here, do a free transform. Do it like that. All right, and then go back to Midjourney. We get the other one yet? Nope, but we can practice maybe. Keep that over there so I can see it. So the idea is then just gonna copy this and we'll paste it in here. Just kind of align it to where we want it to be. Guess it would be something like that. Ah, there's a box. Okay, let's just do it right. All right. Is it straight enough? It's straight enough. All right. So we'll copy this again, paste it in here, or yeah, start from scratch. Paste it in there. Free transform it. We want this and this to be aligned with those. And then we'll make this down until they are aligned with this. And it looks like it's a little bit wider. So we'll do that. I think that should be good. And then we go like this to mask it. I was holding down the Option key for that, by the way. And then we're just going to paint in our white on the mask. We don't have to be that clean here. In fact, I should just use the Shift key to do straight lines. And then I'll fix that as well. Just do that. And then X to invert. Straight line. Straight line. Straight line. Oops. Push the wrong button. All right, and then the color is not quite right on this. I'm going to make this a little less saturated. There we go. Maybe too much right there. And that should be good enough for movies. So we'll save this. Actually, let's do one thing. How come it's not doing the content aware fill? There we go. Nope. Was not good. In this case, then, we're just going to do the old healing brush trick with it selected. There we go. Oops, too much. All right. There we go. Good enough for movies still, maybe. There we go. Oh, and there's one down here, too. All right. Save this as box inside. All right. Back to reality. Okay, if we go to our box inside and set this up as, I think, just Sprite 2D and UI, we should be able to then make it the background of this. And if we turn this inventory area on, I mean, we know this is going to be 6 by 6. Whoops, so 600 by 600. So we can kind of eyeball it. Make this box inside and make it full. So obviously this doesn't quite scale right because it's been scaled here. How are we going to do this? Preserve aspect. Set native size. Can we... How about this? What if we do a new image? And make this the box inside. Box inside. Box background. And then make it bigger. basically trying to match that size pretty decently. You have a little bit overlap. Okay, so if we do that, and then the inventory area image gets turned off. The problem is now it's going to extend beyond our area that we want it to. So I think that means mask. Can we just do a mask here? Okay. So if we do none, there we go. Let's see what this looks like. All right, so that's our inventory inside box. And so if we go to our box, small treasure box, we'll use that one, press play and see what happens. All right, so there we go. So now, well, it didn't quite work, did it? And that's because, oh, that is why. That is because we're at 120. So let's make this 100 pixels. Set that right here as well. And now I think because it scales it after it loads it. Whoops, wrong button. This one. There we go. So now, there we go. Now we've got the inside the box. So we can put things in the box, and it can't go outside of that, inside of that box. How's that effect? Does that effect look cool? The other effect was just this, where you have a basic stuff, or for the player inventory, it's this paper background. Does this work? Oh, it does work. Oh, there's some errors. I don't know if the errors were from this or not. Well, let's try it again. Let's equip that, see. No. The errors were for something else. I wasn't sure if that was working. I hadn't tested it yet, the equipping thing. It's just a very simple equip system. Not robust at all. Now I'm trying to recreate errors. Oh, that's different. Oh, interesting. So I had this open, then I opened this, and it didn't recognize the two. Well, I recognized the two, but it didn't clear the other one, because generally, I think this is something I'll have to update. The other ones, like this and this, are supposed to be side by side, so you can, you know, put a sword in there, take a sword out, put it there, you know, and do stuff like that. But that's between this and the player. And the player is the player inventory, and the box is the quote-unquote other inventory inside the system. So how am I going to do that? And am I going to do that right now? I don't know. I'm just playing now. Marin Ultimate Online Inventory Bag vibes. Let's see what that looks like. Ultima Online Inventory Bag. Images. There we go. That is the point. That is kind of the idea. I'm basing it off of the Might and Magic 6 one, but it's very similar. We've got a bag and it's got spots in it. And this one looks like it's got scrollable spots. But yeah, and so in this case, it's the mini game of inventory management. I think there's a lot of people with different ideas about inventory management. This is why the inventory module is completely optional. If you like this drag and drop system, Might and Magic 6 inventory, that's this right here. Essentially, if you like this kind of drag and drop system, then great. If you don't, then maybe do something different like this, where they change their inventory to be very different. For the Might and Magic 10 Legacy, which was such a disappointment. I want to like it, but it's such a different game and very different. They really, I don't know. I feel bad for it. I wanted it to be better. What is this? Wizards and Warriors. Very similar inventory system, drag and drop it looks like. So, there you go. Oh, and they got the little character up there. That's cool. Oh, interesting. Bags within your bags. Yeah, so that's that. And next thing is, well, let's see. Do I have two open at once? I think what we need to do is just close the one that's open. So this is going to be in panel manager. So box does open inventory here, but what it really does is it calls the panel manager and says set the other inventory other panel to this panel. And so set other panel. So what we need to do is say if the other panel is not empty. Well, maybe we do close other panel. Close. Do we have a close? Toggle other inventory panel. So I think we just need to set the other one to be false. That might do the trick. Let's just see. That way there can be only one. They're Highlander. Other panels are Highlanders, and there can be only one. But that does mean that I'm going to have to rework this if I do want two boxes open at the same time. So that did solve the issue. One gets closed while the other gets opened. Because what I'm wondering is, like, you know, interesting. Why am I picking up with space bar? I'm hitting space and it's saying pick up. I guess it's saying it got clicked with the space bar. Maybe the grid buttons are interactable. If they're not interactable, I shouldn't be able to, I can't click them. So they have to be interactable. Interesting. I'll have to figure that out. I don't think I remember that happening before. Alright, so that works. The whole question about whether I have two of these side by side so you can drag one into the other inventory by going back and forth, that's something I should solve, because many games have that. Like if I'm thinking of New World, you have your inventory on the left and the shed's inventory on the right. You know, we could have a system here where
I've been waiting for this.
you've got the player's inventory next to the box inventory, and maybe there's that, and maybe they scale automatically and other things like that. So that's something I have to think about, because that will require some additional reworking, fairly decent reworking. So there's that. Now the other thing I wanted to do was a quest where you get an item. And so I think and picking up items by clicking on them. That's another thing. But I think I want to take a break. Or should I just do the quest with the item? No, I'm going to take a break. Alright, so I know this was only an hour and a half long. Usually they're a little bit longer, but in this case I am suddenly crashing. My eyes are getting heavy. And I think it's because I woke up at 5 and then didn't fall back asleep until 7:30 and then woke up at 8:30 and it was just, horrible. One of those days. Yep. So I'm going to call this a stream. The next thing I'm going to work on is being able to click and pick up items or in the world. So for instance, if we have a chain armor and I throw it into the world, that's great, but now I want to be able to click, and if I'm close enough, click on that or hit space and pick it up, and all that. And then these buttons aren't working too. Chain item can definitely fit in this inventory. The inventory is empty, but the button's not working. And then when you finish a quest, you can get lots of rewards. If I go to my quests, there are have 100 gold. There are rewards. Let's see. Quest success rewards. Right now, these are quest rewards, which they're objects right here. And like if we do a new quest reward, game modules, quest reward, point reward, we don't have anything but point reward right now. And so what I need to do there is go to quest reward, make a new one of these, and we're going to call this item object reward. And make a whole new one. We'll do item object reward and item object reward object reward. And we're not going to do that, but we might do another thing, but for that we're not going to do that. It will actually be a so we are going to have something here. It's going to be item with attributes, or will it be an item with attributes? Maybe it's going to be a loot box thing. Yeah, probably a loot box. So it's probably going to be a will be a list of loot box, or will be a singular one. Loot box. And let's see, loot box. So that could give multiple ones, and then it will do something here. Not this. It'll do something, and I guess I don't need that. So it's gonna be something like that. So if I go to my quest rewards, create, game manager quest reward, I have object reward. We're going to say this master sword. And yeah, we'll have to figure it's not going to be a loot box. It's actually going to be a reference to a loot box. And then I'm going to have to make a custom inspector for it too. So, but then the idea is then you use that as a reward, and then boom, you get your master sword. And there should be a toggle for whether it goes immediately to the player inventory or not, but maybe that's an override that you would do in your game to how to handle the inventory, because like I said, inventory is something that's unique to your game. So there you go. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. Just when we get to 10 people watching. All right, well, calling it a stream. So thanks for hanging out, everybody, and I appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I might do a short stream tonight if I get bored, or I might just go to bed early. So we'll see. Have a great night. Thanks, everybody.